Hello, and welcome to Fashion Reverie Talks, and Happy New Year. I'm Cicely Daniels.
I'm Tiana Ibrahimovic.
And I'm Carl Ayers.
Fashion Reverie Talks takes you from the front lines of fashion to the front row.
All of Fashion Reverie Talk segments are based on published content found on fashionreverie.com.
So if you want more information on these articles and these segments and these discussions, please go to fashionreverie.com. And every episode of Fashion Reverie Talks, we start with our fashion news segment, which is ripped from the headlines from our fashion news alerts. And this week we start with a somber note. Intrepid fashion editor Andre Leon Talley has passed away at the age of 73. He was born in Washington, D.C., raised in Durham, North Carolina by his grandmothers. He's an HBCU alum from North Carolina State. He has his master's from Brown University, so he's also an Ivy League alum. But he is just an incredible person overall. Over 40 years ago, he began his career by interning for Diana Vreeland, the then editor-in-chief of Vogue, U.S. Vogue, and he parlayed that into stints at Interview Magazine, WWD, W, and of course, U.S. Vogue, where he started out as a fashion news director and then went on to a creative director and editor at large. His vitae is too long for us to go into the details, but he's appeared in TV and films. He's shaped the style of some of the world's largest, greatest celebs, including Mariah Carey and Serena Williams, Jennifer Hudson, and even the Obamas when they were in the White House. Now, he has blazed trails for every young Black man who wanted to be a fashion editor or a stylist, including myself. During the apex of his career, there were only 3 Black men sitting on the front rows of Fashion Week. That was Andre Leon Talley, Freddie Leiber, and Michael Roberts of the Sunday Times. So for him to be such a stalwart in that time and carry on for decades after, it's an amazing feat. Charles Pace remembers him thusly. A country mouse from DC and North Carolina went to the big city and not only made it big, but changed the landscape. True words indeed. All of us in fashion, we owe a debt of gratitude to Andre. We are indebted to him forever. He is irreplaceable and he will be missed.
Yes, it is such a loss for the fashion community, but what an amazing trailblazer and an example of a person who was entirely themselves and use that to forge like an amazing life. So I'm grateful, for his presence in fashion.
Yes, me too. Me too. Like he was almost like a mentor and inspiration for me. From everything he did. Like I said, he went to North Carolina State, but he went to North Carolina Central. I too am an HBC alum. It's a big loss. It's a big loss. We know that he was sick for a while, but at least he got to enjoy, the fruits of his labor and the highlights of his life towards the end of his life with the film about him, what Gospel according to Andre, and then he has his book, The Chiffon Trenches. So at least he got to see people giving him his flowers while he was alive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what I loved about him is that he always kept high standard in fashion and in his style. He didn't give in to just like simple trends. Obviously, he was a trendsetter himself, but he did keep that standard in fashion, and I think that's really important, especially nowadays when we're paying attention to sustainability and quality of work and just fabrics, etc., which I think he presented in the best way possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, especially the fabrics. Those long caftans were amazing. Like I said, he will be missed. So thank you, Audrey, for all that you've done for us.
Yes, thank you. Well, my fashion news is a very, very different kind of topic. For those who might not be familiar, Martha Stewart, who, she has a lot of different enterprises. She is launching a CBD product body care line with a CBD-based ingredients. She's in a partnership with Canopy Growth, and the products are focused on well-being and other ingredients with many benefits. And one of them says it's a sleep science cream focused on sleep. And I always have trouble sleeping. So that one sounds really interesting to me. And who knows? I mean, obviously, Martha and her continued friendship and show with Snoop Dogg made a lot of waves in the world. And I'm like, is it that influence? Is it the dog influence? I don't know, but it's hilarious and interesting that she has this body care line. And obviously CBD is hot these days. So if that's something that you're into, you know, you get a chance to try a new product.
I mean, I think Marta should get more credit when it comes to also maintaining her like physical and youthful looks.
That is true. She looks good.
We often forget like in which age category she belongs to. Mm-hmm. So whatever Marta recommends, I'm willing to try it out.
True.
I think Martha Stewart is like the Betty White of the fashion or the home and lifestyle industry because she's been going strong for I don't know how many decades now. And regarding her in this CBD line, these are my thoughts. You know, like who doesn't love a redemption story? You know, Martha Stewart, the convicted felon, is now expanding her CBD empire. like you can't write a better script than this. This is amazing. And
really
the thing, you know, she does so much work with Snoop. You would think that he would be the convict. He was the crook. According to his book, he was the crook. According to his own book, from crook to crook.
Here's what I say for Martha. She's always a businesswoman. Like they're her and successful. So yeah, I'm looking at this CBD line and I'm like, I bet there's some like housewife in Minnesota who might not have tried it before, but she's like, well, Martha Stewart's line. And you know what I mean? So, you know, we wish her luck and maybe we'll try it. And Martha, if you get this, we will try your body care products. So, you know, come along.
Well, let's move on to the sports and fashion. So this year kicked off with Australian Open and some drama that involved world's number one, Novak Djokovic. So Australian federal court upheld the government's decision to cancel his visa needed to enter the country for the competition for the Australian Open, concluding a 2 weeks battle or a standoff with him and the Australian government over the validity of his medical exemption for the COVID-19 vaccine because he didn't receive one. I mean, we weren't sure, but at this point, we're pretty sure he's not vaccinated, but he did have COVID in December. So now, what are the consequences? I don't know. We shall see what happens because according to Forbes estimates, he earned about 30 plus millions in endorsements last year. And he had some sponsorship from Raiffeisen Bank International that said in a statement that, you know, Djokovic is, his own person and he can make his own decisions. And it was the same with Hablat, who said that they cannot comment on his personal decisions and they will continue their partnership with the world's number one tennis player. Obviously, there are some sponsors that remained quiet, like ASICS, had, NetJets, Peugeot, and few other groups, because at the same time, Novak does have great support, just like every controversial sort of figure. And then when it comes to Lacoste, they're actually the only ones that said that they will review the events that have accompanied his presence in Australia. So it looks like, to me personally, it seems like there won't be too many consequences, but then maybe these brands are just sort of waiting to see how the world reacts, how his fans will react. And what will happen with Lacoste? Maybe Lacoste will be the first one to sort of pull the plug, but I personally doubt that. What do you guys think?
Yeah, well, I think that a lot of the brands are playing the waiting game to see how the fans are going to react. Because if the fans are going to stand by and still support Djokovic, I think the sponsors will also stand behind him. If the fans say, he's being irresponsible and they don't like that he didn't get vaccinated, then I think the brands will respond in kind. But I think it's from the business perspective, I think it's kind of a gray area for them because some of them I think will eventually dissociate with Djokovic because they've already gotten a lot of attention and revenue from their brand partnership. So now if they say, let's say he had a 3-year deal and they can take some of that money back from their partnership and still capitalize on the existing mind frame that Joko is still associated with this brand, I think they may do that as a cost cutting, money saving business kind of thing. But I think what I'm more concerned about is going forward. What's going to happen with him now? He's not allowed for the Australian Open. Is he also going to be banned from the French Open? And if he's going to continue to be banned and can't play, is that going to snowball and really affect his sponsorships around the world?
I agree. I think it's gonna come down to like money. It's gonna come down to money because I don't think that they like have enough of a strong position. So if the companies are making money even from the scandal, I think he's still in. If they feel like that is no longer fruitful for them, it's easy for them to cut.
Exactly.
With a quickness. And so we'll see how it plays out.
Exactly. Great point. We shall see.
Well, I think that's it for today's fashion news segment. So, viewers, if you want to hear more about these articles or other fashion news stories, go to fashionreverie.com.
Well, as you know, I love talking to my co-host. I love talking to my co-host anyway. And my brilliant co-host, Carl Ayers, is really an expert on fashion and products, and especially for the men. And as we know, men's grooming is not only essential to the men, but essential to the partners who are with the men. Hey, Carl.
I was not expecting that. Yes.
So, a well-groomed man is appreciated for himself. He will appreciate how he feels and looks, how his skin feels and looks, but so will the people that are with him. So tell us about some of your great recommendations that people need to know about.
Okay, so everyone, they say summer bodies are made in the gym in the winter, but so is your skincare, so is your health. You got to take care of yourself year round. And during the winter, where you have the cold temperatures and the harsh winds, you have to be even more attentive to yourself. So I created this winter grooming guide for the fellas because we need to take care of ourselves inside and out from head to toe. We need to really, keep it together. So then when spring comes and summer comes, we're not playing catch up at that time. So I want to go over 3 specific products from the guide, which has around between 8 and 10 items. I'm going to go over 3 specific items that I personally like and use. Okay. So let's start with skincare. A lot of times we forget to moisturize, or sometimes we don't moisturize enough during the winter when it's cold. So I come across this brand, Buttered by Kenya. It is an amazing brand. It's handmade. They're made to order. It's all natural ingredients, and there are no toxins in it, but they are chock full of vitamins and antioxidants. So you can use this for dark spots, for discoloration, for stretch marks, and also just to stay hydrated. It smells great. There are 3 different scents. The one that I have right now with me is called Late Night. Now let me tell you about this. Okay. So Late Night, it is amazing. Look at this.
You see it. I like the name already, first of all.
You see that I used some earlier today. So Late Night is this spicy and sensual scent. It is so good. Like, all right. So maybe TMI, maybe not my TMI, but so you can use this like on your late night excursions. You don't need any cologne. You don't need any baby oil. You don't need any cocoa butter. This will take care of it. You will be baby butt smooth and smell great day or night. But this late night scent is it's for the fun time, for the fun time and the good time.
Well, I think that soft skin can be very seductive, very alluring, and you feel, I think, more confident when your skin feels soft and smooth. And I also appreciate that it can help with discolorations and stretch marks. And those are things that men and women deal with.
Yes.
And so, like, to be able to have things that can help your skin look better is also wonderful.
Look better and it helps you feel better. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, still talking about skin, but we're going to talk about the face now. The second item I want to talk to you about is Artistry Renewing Solution Mini Set. So, this little set has three items. There is a foaming cleanser, there is a softening toner, and there is a rejuvenation cream. So, you clean your face, you maintain your face, and you hydrate your face. It is literally like a 5 minute routine. And in 2 weeks, you'll be seeing results. These things are so small. They're you can keep them in your book bag if you're younger. You can keep them in your doc kit. You can keep them at your desk at work. I personally travel with mine. It's like I said, it's a quick 5 minute routine. It's very easy, but it has great results. Like I stand by this. Artistry has a number of items, but look how small they are.
Yeah, no, those are really convenient. And I like what you said about routine. I think if you're just getting into skincare, having a routine that's simple is going to be what's like most approachable for you. You don't necessarily need like 10 products. You need to have some, you know what I mean? But like you have them, you keep them set, and then you stick with them so you can see the results.
Exactly. And with these three things, like it's so simple, so quick, so easy. You can't go wrong with this. Drop them in your book bag, drop them in your briefcase, keep them at work, before your meetings, after lunch, when you need a little touch up, you need a little face cleanser, hit it. It's a wonderful product. And like I said, I stand by it.
Very good.
Now,
and so what's the last thing you're going to tell us, or the last one
so
you
the
tell us?
last thing, we're still going to stick with face care. All right. But this one is for a more in-depth impact. It's Givenchy Le Soin Noir, the black care in English, Le Soin Noir. So Le Soin Noir is inspired by vital black algae sap. This is sap extracted from a black algae, and what makes it so special is that it helps the algae regenerate itself. So Givenchy scientists took this from the the black algae, and combined it with the golden sap from another algae.
Okay.
And together, it leads to great cell reconstruction, increased skin hydration, and it stimulates oxygenation. So it is like a deep cleanse and revitalization of your skin. So, full disclosure. All right, so I went to Saks Fifth Avenue here in New York. I went to the Givenchy section, and I have to say thank you to Susie from Givenchy at Saks because they have a secret spa room.
Ooh.
And it gets better. So I was there for a session, and I got the treatment of not just the skin cleanser, but the whole thing. There's like 8 steps. It took like a half an hour, but it felt so great. There's the cleansers, there's the moisturizers, there's the serums, and the eye creams. It was amazing. So please, definitely check out the Givenchy Le Soin Noir. The whole collection, the whole line is amazing. It really makes your skin feel great. Like it's really a luxury item.
Now, yeah, I was gonna say, Givenchy, give me the price points. What kind of price points are we talking about?
I honestly don't recall the price points, but it's still attainable. It is attainable. It's reachable, but when I say it's a luxury item, I'm not even talking about the luxury price. I'm talking about the luxury feel and effect. You really get your money's worth. So Givenchy Le Soin Noir. You got
I love that. I love that. Well, it's the beginning of the year. So it's when people need to take time to start to invest in themselves, to invest in their self-care. And then your self-care matters, your skin, your body, and your good feelings matter. So thank you, Carl, for those amazing recommendations. Also, Valentine's Day is coming up. Maybe you need a present for your boo, whoever that is. So
also like this, like we talk about taking care of yourself. this is a great at-home spa day kit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not a kit; it's
Mm-hmm.
a system, a home
Yes,
spa system.
yes.
So
A whole
for
spa day at home, which
that's right.
also
So
could be for Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. All right.
Yeah.
See right
Now,
there.
there is a full article on Fashion Reverie with even more product recommendations. So please check them out. And Carl, thank you so much as always.
Thank you. And now let's have some fun. We are joined by R. Scott French to help us go through our third installment of the Fashion Reverie game show. So, Scott, you take it away because you're leading this.
Thanks, Carl, for that incredible introduction. I guess a little short one, but I'm R. Scott French, a fashion publicist, former designer, and now fashion design professor, returning once again to test the fashion knowledge of guess who, our Fashion Reverie Talk show co-hosts. So in this third installment of the Fashion Reverie Talks quiz, we're testing our co-hosts' knowledge on the very publication that they work for. Interesting, right? Yeah, get ready. So we're going to be asking 5 questions called from the last year of incredible Fashion Reverie coverage and see just how closely they're paying attention to the entire world of fashion. Ready?
I'm ready.
Shall we start?
Nervous.
Okay, this could be, I know, you're all looking very scared. This could be good. Here we go. So we're going to be asking 5 questions, and our first one is, which fashion designer who created the very first luxury brand that combined luxury fashion techniques with streetwear aesthetics died in the last few months of 2021? Was it A, Albert Albaz, B, Virgil Abloh, or C, Elsa Peretti? A, Albert Albaz, B, Virgil Abloh, or C, Elsa Peretti? We ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, show us your answers. Oh, all 3 chose B. So you're either all right or all wrong. Well, sadly, we lost all 3 creative geniuses in 2021, with Elsa Peretti passing on March 18th, Albert Albaz on April 24th, but it was Virgil Abloh who passed on November 28th this year, literally decades before his time. So you all 3 are on the board with 1 point each. So how are you feeling? Feeling confident?
I'm feeling confident that I got the answer right. I was sad when I remembered. I was like,
Yeah, that was a huge passing. It was shocking when I heard that one.
Mhm.
So on to question number 2, a slightly more upbeat, or actually far more upbeat question. Lady Gaga, who is known for her great style, recently starred in the film The House of Gucci. I ran out and saw it first weekend. I'm sure you guys did as well. Can you name the most iconic fashion moment from Lady Gaga's lexicon of well-known red carpet looks? This one rivaled the unforgettable swan dress from Bjork. Was it the dazzling paperclip chemise, the iconic bookends pantsuit, or the yummy, to some at least, meat dress? So was it the paperclip chemise, the bookends pantsuit, or the meat dress that caused all the fury at the on the red carpet with Lady Gaga? You ready? Show us your answers. C, C, and C. Once again, you all are in agreement. Either you're really well read or you planned this advance, but you're all correct. That's right. All of you are on the board with 2 points each. That
or
meat
no one
dress,
can
that was
ever forget the meat dress. That's what it is.
I want to know, like, someone said to me one time, I wonder if that's going to go into a museum. I'm like, think about what you just said. But anyway, let's move on. So, number 3, this one might be a little more difficult. Which iconic supermodel walked the runway in Kevin Hall's spring 2022 show when he returned to the runway after 25 years of runway absence? Was it A, Pat Cleveland, B, Shalom Harlow, or C, Coco Mitchell? Pat Cleveland, A, Shalom Harlow, B, or C, Coco Mitchell? Here we go. Show us your answers.
I would love to see Pat Cleveland, though.
Oh my goodness, it was C. Well, all of you picked the game right. You're all correct again. This is becoming very, very. You're really, really. Right, yeah. I was really excited to be able to produce that show for Kevin, and was ecstatic when Coco walked the runway. And the audience cheered. It was a real moment. So,
Oh my God,
yes.
so
Yes, we love Kevin. We love Kevin. We love Coco. Yes.
Yeah, we're all on the board for, once again, the 3, 3, and 3. This is getting dicey. It's coming down to this question right here. Well, this one may stump some of you. Let's see here. Which actress admitted that she wore a few drops of Chanel's No. 5 perfume to bed every night? Okay. Which actress claimed to wear a little bit of Chanel No. 5 perfume to bed each night? Was it A, Marilyn Monroe, B, Audrey Hepburn, or C, Marlene Dietrich? Was that A, Marilyn Monroe, B, Audrey Hepburn, or C, Marlene Dietrich? Are we ready?
Yikes.
Show us your card. Carl, looks like Carl might be afraid of this one. Show us your cards, everyone. So we have Tiana with A and Marlene Dietrich for Carl and Cicely. Well, I got to tell you, some one or two is now in the lead, and it is Tiana. It is Marilyn Monroe, who in 1954 confessed that she wore Chanel No. 5 every night to bed. As a matter of fact, I think the exact quote was, "That's all she wears to bed each night."
I was
There we
thinking
go.
that it was Marilyn. I was thinking that it was Marilyn. But
I
was
was
like,
that
no.
was my other thing, but then I was like, I don't know, Marlene. Like I was like,
Exactly.
So, Cicely,
Right.
I gotta tell you, I'm ashamed of you coming from the road.
I'm doing my best. I've been so proud of myself so far, and then I was like, oh, it's a question about an actress. I'm gonna get it, and then I was like, damn.
I know. Here you go. Yeah, there you go. See? So here's the big deciding one. Tiana's gonna take it all. I think the third time in a row, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this will be her
or
third
she's gonna
time.
be tied up where it's a three-way tie with 4 each. Here we go. Everyone thought this is Pierre Moss, but actually found out it's actually not. It said Pierre Moss. The Pierre Moss Fall 2021 Couture Show was staged in New York City in July of this year. It was an iconic moment. I believe, Carl, you may have been there. I'm not certain.
Yeah. I was there.
Which iconic setting was the location of this show? Was it A, Gracie Mansion, the home of New York City's mayor, B, Villa Lewaro on the majestic Hudson River, or C, Central Park, New York City's backyard? Was that A, Gracie Mansion, B, Villa Lewaro, or C, Central Park, which was the setting for the Pierre Moss Fall 21 Couture Show? So here we go. Drum roll, please, and show us your answers.
Oh, see,
So
what
we have
else?
B. Oh my goodness, it's getting interesting. Cicely with A and B. Well, we have a bit of a problem here. Carl got it correct with B. It was Villa Lewaro. Cicely sadly did not. Tiana got it correct with B as well. So for the third consecutive time, Tiana came through. Yes, Villa Lewaro was the estate of Madam C.J. Walker on the Hudson River. And Tiana, if you want to, in this enlightened days when all types of marriages are optional, she was the first female Black millionaire in the United States. So I know you're always looking for, you try to get Armani, you try to get another belt, maybe. C.J. Walker, that was her home. So it's Thursday. So anyway, so Tiana finishes on the board with 4. With 5. Carl, Cicely finishes with 3. And Tiana gets a full 5. I'm sorry, yes.
I'm
so
super
Tiana has
proud
5.
of myself, so I'm okay with myself. And I'm really proud of my own
to wrap up
answer.
this, congratulations, Tiana. To wrap up this third edition, I'm very looking forward to number 4, now that Tiana is on a streak here. You can find all the details of each of these stories and more on fashionreverie.com in the article that just posted called Fashion Reverie's Top 10 Stories of 2021. But just beware, you're going to keep reading and digging once you visit fashionreverie.com, so put aside a full evening. Okay, so thank you so much, and congratulations, Tiana, once again.
Keep that number 1 spot.
Congrats, Tiana.
But to go to a wide screen next time for Tiana's head.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
All right. Well, viewers, that's it for this episode of Fashion Reverie Talks.
We would like to thank R. Scott French for joining us for that amazing fashion game show.
And for information on these and other stories, go to fashionreverie.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.